Hello there, everybody. This is Cholera bringing you another Star League commentary, and this time it's a Collegiate Star League game, one-on-one game between Rice University and Johns Hopkins University. This is from the second week of the Star League, played about a month ago, and we'll be covering a couple more games until we get up to speed, up to the present time. This is going to be a Protoss versus Zerg game here, and the players are from Rice University, Menace, the white Protoss that we see here, and Johns Hopkins, the brown Zerg Soldia that we see on the right side. This map is Othello, and I'm definitely looking forward to this game. This is from week 2, but there's only going to be a couple more commentaries until we're up to speed. We're not going to do necessarily every single week between myself, Diggity, and Moletrap. Right now, we're actually already in the playoffs at the present time. Out of the 26 colleges, 8 have been picked for the playoffs after playing, I believe, 5 games in a Swiss format. Not sure exactly how that works, but basically there's 8. The top 8 teams right now are starting in a playoff series, and it should be very exciting. But let's go back to this game here. This is a PvZ on Othello, played between 2 amateur players. We see right from the beginning, at least going by the APM, which it doesn't necessarily mean that much, but when the difference is between about 300 and 100, I'm going to give the Protoss player a little bit of an advantage, especially because the Protoss generally doesn't need that high of an APM against the Zerg player. The Zerg player is generally a bit higher. Looks like he's going to be going for a Forge Fast Expand here, and from the Zerg player, looks like we've gotten an overpool. Actually, no, it looks like it was a 9 pool from the Zerg player, Soldia. So Soldia is going to be going for a fast pool, and we'll see if he goes for a drone scout here or if he tries to expand. I wouldn't recommend expanding, yeah, exactly, because you won't get your lings out on time there. So he is going to just go for a drone scout, getting his Overlord right now. Interesting enough, not getting gas. He's just going to probably go into an expansion here. Not a bad map to do that, actually. It's a pretty good map to put some early pressure on the Protoss. Protoss putting up 1 cannon just to be safe. He's scouting last, which is not going to benefit him, whereas the Zerg player, Soldia, has actually just scouted him with his drone. So he's going to have he's going to know exactly where to go with his lings, and notice that the Protoss player, Menace, playing carefully here, goes 2 cannons instead of getting his Nexus down first. He doesn't want to be susceptible to exactly what's happening here, a 9 pool. Usually the Protosses, if they have better luck than Menace did, or if they double scouted, they can tell whether the Zerg's gone 9 pool or not, and then they can make a decision then. But this time he had to do it in the blind. He had to put up 2 cannons in the blind. But it's gonna be helpful for him, because I don't think the Zerg player here is gonna be able to get through. And inside of the Zerg's players, Soldia's base, we see not much going on. He's probably going to go for a 3rd hatchery. And is he going to go in for the attack? Looks like he's actually going to go for the run by. He only gets 1 ling through, though. Ouch. That is why you don't do a run by without speed. He has a drone and a Zergling inside of Menace's base, but not doing the best micro here. Looks like he's going to get 1 probe. Don't know if he's going to get 2. This drone trying to support to the best of his ability. Wow. Soldia evidently at some point pulled 3 drones just to kill 1 probe, and yeah, I don't know. I'd say he's a little bit behind right now. Is he thinking about double expanding? It looks like he probably is going to think about double expanding here, but he hasn't gotten his gas down. Meanwhile, we see a Nexus has already gone up for the Protoss player, Menace, although his gateway timing a little bit off there, as you could see. He saved up more than the 150 minerals that he needed for the gateway. Usually you want to put that down immediately. And looks like this drone's going to get taken out. Nope, not by probes yet. Meanwhile, Soldia has gone for a fast second expansion there, and he should be getting a gas pretty soon. There's his gas. So we're probably going to see that 3 hatchery lair build. We'll see if he has the I guess the modern Zerg build order in mind, that 5-hatch build order in mind, or if he's going to play something else that's not really standard, considering that little Ling run-by was a bit surprising. Notice that the Zerg player Soldia also psi-capped, and I'm just wondering, how much of Menace's relatively high APM here is spam and how much is actually legitimate action, because if it really is mainly legitimate action, then we're going to see it remain constant throughout the entire game, at about 200, and then he really should have a very significant advantage in this game against someone who's barely cracking 100 right now, as Soldia is. Anyway, it looks like Menace going to get gas here, going to get a core up, and Soldia, meanwhile, just starting with his gas collection. Is he going to get speed first? No, he doesn't have speed. Just going to go for, Lair first, it appears, and I do hope he's got Overlords. He's got two Overlords building at the same time, making sure that he doesn't get Psylocked again, I guess. And looks like he's gonna, get a lot of Psy. He's also floating an Overlord over, gonna have a peek inside of Menace's base. Menace mining gas with two probes. That's a mistake. Don't know if he's don't know if he's going to realize it or not in time, though, because he's going to have a lot less gas than he wants to pursue whatever build he wants to go for. He's got his second gas up, but he really needs to correct this. Yeah, he hasn't. Stargate going up now for Menace, and as you can tell, his gas is lower than it should be at this point. I think maybe nope. I don't think he's actually corrected it at this point yet. He might have just corrected it, actually. Anyway, it looks like the Zerg player, Soldia, is probably going to get Ling Speed. Yeah, there's Ling Speed. Still trying to take care of this one drone. I'm sorry, one probe that's scouting inside his base. Also going to get his second gas. That's generally indicative of a faster tech build. Maybe 3-hatch lurkers would be the standard play here. And, not necessarily that 5-hatch build, or maybe he just wants to mess around with the build order a bit. +1 attack going down for Menace. And he's also going for a second Stargate. Interesting. He's getting a +1 attack, and yet he's getting a second Stargate. So not going speed lots, or at least not going very fast speed lots like I would expect. He's really going to... I think he's actually got 3 probes on gas. No, he's still... I'm not sure has 3 probes on gas. Yeah, I actually wouldn't say he doesn't still. He's going to need all the gas that he can get, though, if he's going to go for some kind of... gateway build here, some kind of zealot build. Don't know why he's got 2 Stargates, though. Maybe thinking about some kind of weird mass Corsair slow zealot build. Yeah, that's not really a build. Anyway, it looks like some sunken colonies going down for the Zerg player. He's also got a Hydralisk Den and a Spire going up. And is he going to get... It doesn't look like he's got lurker upgrade, so maybe just he needs more gas or something, saving up gas. He's also got a Spire going up. He really needs to get a couple more hatcheries, actually. That's the general way this build goes. Even if you go lurkers, you want hatcheries. And meanwhile, inside of the Protoss' base, we've got more gates going up. And no Citadel of Adun. So basically, we're seeing Menace's APM going down a little bit. This is not a sign of necessarily the best from him, but we're gonna see. This is amateur level play here. So let's take a look at who manages to figure out what they're doing, basically figure out a more standard build and manage to take advantage of that. Looks like Lurker's going now for Soldia. I don't know if it's if he's going to think about going for any Mutalisks. I don't think it would be a good idea, obviously, because there's plenty of Corsairs in the air here from Menace. Menace, meanwhile, still working on his +1 attack, of course. Now getting a Citadel of Adun, finally. Probably just realizing that that's generally the follow-up to getting lots of gateways in the +1 attack, especially if you're not going Corsair Reaver or anything like that. He's still producing Sairs out of two Stargates, not getting a +1 attack though. Just wants to get a lot of Corsairs, I guess. But if the Zerg player does what's correct, he should have some Scourge coming out, and he does have a couple of Scourge. He also is going to get an Evolution Chamber. What he needs right now, though, are more... Oh man, he might be able to get some of his Corsairs. He needs more hatcheries, but right now he's going to go for this big chase here on Menace. Menace, is he going to pull a Bisu and get away? He is going to get away. Although certainly Bisu would have probably had 1 Corsair versus something like 10 Scourge and still gotten away. And we're going to see speed upgrade here for his Zealots, getting a robotics facility. He's going to need some observers soon. And so far, there's been pretty much no action here. All quiet here on the Western Front, and both sides just building up into the mid-game. So the relatively early advantage I would give to the Protoss has pretty much been gone at this point. As long as the Zerg builds a couple more hatcheries, he's got a 4th hatch going down here. The Zerg's going to have an advantage here because he's got a lot of gas, and I think he just put down some upgrades. +1 attack for his melee units. Interesting. He should probably the standard generally is to go for Carapace first. Pretty much whatever build you go for, unless it's like mass Hydras, you don't really go +1 melee first, especially if you're going to go Lurker first. It doesn't really make much sense, but maybe he's thinking about going for a fast Ultra build, maybe having seen Luxury's antics recently. Or maybe he just doesn't know what he's doing. Sorry. But anyway, so he's continuing to build up units. Gonna get himself Psylocke pretty soon once again. And meanwhile, the Protoss also thinking about an expansion. Probably still, is he gonna mine off of 2 probes on gas? Yup, 2 probes on gas. You can tell because they're not, you don't see one constantly in the way transporting, and you would see that with 3 on gas. Anyway, meanwhile, bunch of speed lots going for a sort of belated +1 speed lot attack. But meanwhile, no lurkers down yet for, well, there's lurkers, but they're not burrowed yet for the Zerg player Soldia. There's a ton, an absolute